Richard Rosenberg here. I'm the artistic director and conductor of the Union Symphony Orchestra in Monroe, North Carolina. And on October 5th, we are performing a concert at the Batte Center at Wingate University at 7:30 p.m. Fabulous acoustic at the Batte Center. The concert is called Jazz in Stride, and it includes 4 of my absolute favorite jazz compositions. I was brought up with jazz, and the mixture of jazz and orchestral music is something that's always appealed to me. The first piece we perform is Kurt Weill's Little Threepenny music. It's from his Threepenny opera. Kurt Weill was born in Germany to Jewish parents, and he fled Germany in 1933, came first to Paris and then to the United States, where he wrote a goodly number of Broadway shows with Ira Gershwin. In 1928, he and Bertolt Brecht produced Die Drei Groschen Opera, or the Threepenny Opera, based on music by John Gay, an opera by John Gay called The Beggar's Opera, called the Threepenny Opera because it was something that could appeal to peasants and beggars and people who couldn't afford the expensive tickets. The music is borrowed from jazz. The suite commissioned by the conductor Otto Klemperer, father of Werner Klemperer, who used to play in Hogan's Heroes. He commissioned this as a dance band piece. It includes 8 different sections from the opera, done entirely by a jazz band. You have Charlestons, tangos, foxtrots, and the famous tune Mac the Knife, which most of us are probably familiar with. Great deal of fun, uses accordion, banjo, saxophones, something not to be missed. Really one of my favorites. So the second piece on the program is by the composer James Price Johnson. Johnson lived from 1894 to 1955. He was born in New Jersey, and among his students were Fats Waller and Duke Ellington. He wrote a composition called Yamekraw, a Negro Rhapsody, which was orchestrated by his friend, the composer William Grant Still, in 1928. The piece is an homage to his very close friend George Gershwin, and he couldn't play or conduct the premiere because he had too many pieces being performed on Broadway at the exact same time. So Fats Waller played the premiere, and William Grant Still conducted it in Carnegie Hall. The piece is based on a rhapsody about the town Yamekraw, which is a suburb of South Carolina's Charleston, the first black independent community after the Civil War. And you probably know a lot of James Price Johnson's music without realizing that you know it. Pieces like Carolina Shout, the Carolina Balmoral, and his most famous tune, Charleston. He was the father of stride piano, and we are really lucky that our favorite local jazz pianist, stride jazz pianist, Ethan Uslan, will be performing it with us at this concert. Moving right along, after intermission, we will perform a composition by George Gershwin. It's his Rhapsody in Blue. Actually, it's a Rhapsody in Blue. And it's a piece he wrote in 1924 on a commission by Paul Whiteman of Paul Whiteman's jazz band, the Palais Royal. Gershwin came from a Tin Pan Alley background. He had no interest in classical music, though he liked it, but he wasn't going to make a living from it. And he was playing billiards with... He was playing billiards with a friend of his, and he was reminded on New Year's Day, 1924, that he had a concerto to be finished shortly that was being performed on Lincoln's birthday at Aeolian Hall in New York City, and he had forgotten completely about it. So he started the Rhapsody piano and jazz band, based on the rattly-bang rhythms of a train he was taking from New York to Boston. The composition was on a program, an experiment in modern music, on February 12, 1924, in which Paul Whiteman was going to show how the distance between jazz and concert music wasn't that great. The concert lasted 3.5 hours. I'm going to be bitten by this goose. At the premiere, the program went so long that Paul Whiteman asked Gershwin to cut it by a few minutes. He was the low man on the totem pole, and Ferdie Grofé agreed with Paul Whiteman. Ferdie Grofé orchestrated it, and so they cut out some of the music. The performance that Ethan and I are performing on October 5th includes music that you will never have heard before unless you heard it with me. Ira Gershwin, George's older brother, gave me a copy of his score in 1930, and I did the first performance of the complete jazz band version of it, recorded it subsequently, and that's what we're going to hear on October 5th. So the last piece on the program on October 5th will be the Grand Canyon Suite by Ferdie Grofé. And Grofé was Paul Whiteman's right-hand man, his orchestrator, played piano and violin in the jazz band. He wrote the Grand Canyon Suite initially as a jazz band composition for Mr. Whiteman, as a wedding gift to Mr. Whiteman. He subsequently orchestrated it for full orchestra, and that's the version we know best. We're going to hear the original version. It's a beautiful picture of the Grand Canyon in 5 sections, including the Painted Desert and On the Trail, which depicts a visit down to the base of the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River with a recalcitrant mule. Beautifully orchestrated, really gorgeous. Some of the most sumptuous music you'll hear, an important composition by a great American composer. I hope you'll come to the concert and join us there. I'll be there.